Hello everyone, today we discuss about Class 8 Chapter 9 Women, Caste and Reform. Working towards change. Before 18th century there was the practice of caste system, sati and women should not be educated and so on. Brahmanas and Kshatriyas considered themselves as upper caste and they treated others like traders and moneylenders as Vaishyas, peasants, artisans, weavers and potters as Shudras. Shudras means untouchables. Early 19th century, slowly these practices were changed. Newspapers, journals, books, leaflets and pamphlets were printed. All kinds of issues such as social, political, economic and religious could now be debated and discussed by all, both men and women. These discussions paved the way for social changes. These debates were initiated by Indian reformers and reform groups. Raja Ram Mohan Rai. He was the founder of Brahma Samaj at Calcutta. He was the keen to spread knowledge of Western education in India. He brought greater freedom and equality for women. He thought they should be compulsorily educated. He moved particularly towards problems faced by widows and fight against sati. He was well versed in Sanskrit, Persian, Indian and European languages. By the effort of him and other British officials in 1829, sati was banned in India. The strategy adopted by Rajaram Mohan Rai was used by later reformers as well. Widow remarriage. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar is the person who suggests widow remarriage in India. His suggestions adopted by British and a law was passed in 1856 permitting widow remarriage. In Telugu speaking areas of Madras Presidency, Veerashalingam Pantlu is the person who formed an association for widow remarriage. Dayanand Saraswati started reform association called Arya Samaj. He supported continuously towards widow remarriage. Education for girls. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar and other reformers started a school in mid-19th century. Later part of the century, schools for girls were opened by Arya Samaj in Punjab. Jyotirao Phule also started a school in Maharashtra. Aristocratic Muslim people in North India allowed women to read Quran in Arabic. These women were taught by a woman who came to thought at their home. The first Urdu novels began to be written at late 19th century. Women write about women. Early 20th century, Muslim women like Begums of Bhopal promoting women education. They founded girls' primary school at Aligarh. Begum Rokeya Shakwat Hossain started schools for Muslim girls in Patna and Calcutta. By 1880s, women began to enter universities and some became doctors, teachers, etc. Many women wrote critical views about their society and they published as books. Tarabai Sindhe is the woman who studied at Punjab and published a book, Sri Purush Tulna, a comparison between men and women, criticizing the social differences between men and women in that book. Pandit Ramadai, a great scholar of Sanskrit, is a woman who wrote a book about miserable lives of upper caste women and founded a women's and widows' home at Pune. Here, women and widows were trained so that they could support themselves economically. Orthodox Muslims also worried about the impact of these changes. Women began to write books, magazines and even actively working for reforms by the end of 19th century. In the 20th century, Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose also supported them to provide equality. Caste and social reform. Raja Ram Mohan Rai translated the old Buddhist text that was critical of caste. Pratana Samaj adhered the tradition of bhakti. They believed that spiritual equality is in all castes. In Bombay, Parakhan's Mandali, founded in 1840 to work for the abolition of caste. Christian missionaries began to open schools for tribal groups and lower caste children. And there was the demand for job. New demand for labours was created. Road lays, buildings constructed and cities cleaned. This required many labourers. Some went to work in plantations in Assam, Mauritius, Trinidad and Indonesia, but the low caste affected because of the practice of upper caste people. There were other jobs too, like there was the opportunities to join in army. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is the person who is the leader of Dalit movement, taught at army school. Demand for equality and justice. By second half of the 19th century, people from lower caste started a movement against caste discrimination and demanded social equality and justice. The Satnami movement in central India, founded by Ghasidas, who worked to improve social status. He worked among the leather workers. In eastern Bengal, Haridas Thakur's Mauta worked among Chandala cultivators supported for non-caste system. In present-day Kerala, a guru from Yelava caste, Sri Narayana Guru, proclaimed the ideals of unity for his people. His famous quotes were, Oru Sadi, Oru Madam, Oru Deivam, Manushanyu. That means one caste, one religion, one God for worship. Gulamgiri. One of the most vocal amongst low caste leaders was Jyotirao Phule. He was born in 1827 in Maharashtra, studied at Christian missionaries. He developed his own ideas about injustice of caste society. He set out to attack Brahmanas, claimed that they were superior to others since they were Aryans. Aryans are foreigners who came from outside the country, who defeated the true children of our country. He proposed that Shrudas means labor, castes, and Ati Shrudas means untouchables, should unite to challenge caste discrimination. He founded Satyasodak Samaj at Maharashtra to propagate caste equality. He wrote a book in 1873 named Gulamgiri means slavery. Phule dedicated this to those Americans who had fought to free slaves and establishing a link between black slaves in America and low castes in India. He dedicated this book to black slaves in America and lower castes in India. This movement for caste reform was continued till 20th century by other great Dalit leaders like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in Western India and E.V. Ramasamy in South India, who could enter temples. This means temple entry movement. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, belonging to a Mahar family, he belonged to Dalit caste. As a child, he was not allowed to enter the classroom because of his lower community. He was not allowed to drink water in taps as the upper caste people drinks. He went to US for his higher studies and returned to India in 1919. He wrote extensively about upper caste power in contemporary society. In 1927, he started temple entry movement with his Mahar people. Brahmin priests were outdragged when Dalit used temple tank. Between 1927 to 1935, he organized 3 temple entry movement. Non-Brahman movement. In early 20th century, non-Brahman movement was started by non-Brahmanas to acquire access to education, wealth and influence. E.V. Ramasamy Nayakar came from middle class family. Interestingly, he had been an ascetic in his early life and studied Sanskrit scriptures. He was commonly known as Periyar. He became the member of Congress and he started self-respect movement. In South India, he argued untouchables were the true upholders of an original Tamil and Dravidian culture. His forceful speeches, writings and movements of lower caste leaders did lead to rethinking and self-criticism amongst upper caste nationalist leaders. But Orthodox Hindu society also created Sanatam Dharma Sabhas, Bharat Dharma Sabhas, Mahamandal in North and association like Brahman Sabha in Bengal to uphold caste discriminations. These were the keynotes of today's chapters. You can pause the video and make notes. This was very useful. Thank you.